Hey, and welcome in today's video. In today's video, we'll be having a look at the tire inflation and deflation system and the new solution that I'll be applying to all of the wheels. We'll start by the beginning. So we have the wheel right here, and what you can see is that there is a triangle on the top right here. And that's a protective cover for the air inflation and deflation system that's built into this military Tatra. So inside of the hubs there is a tube that will actually another tube, but it's an opening that allows air from an air hose that's connected onto the top of the axle to come out of the spinning hub. And so the air will come out here, out of a hole, and then it will go into the inner tube because these tires have an inner tube in there. And through this hole right here, you can either open or close it. I will show you in the cab where the handle is located to deflate and inflate the tires. But all 6 of the tires on the Tatra have this ability. When I bought my Tatra, the 2 tires on the front, they don't have the complete system installed. They just have a regular car car valve installed, so I will show you that as well, but I will also be installing the inflate and deflate system there, so when the engine is running you can always fill up your air or release air if needed if there is rough terrain. I will show you the new system, but first I will show you how it looks in the cab. Alright, so this is the cab, and one thing you'll notice is that you have your dashboard right here, and then you have this pressure meter right here, and that's actually the meter for your air pressure, and that's controlled by this lever right here. So if you put it forward, you inflate the tires, put it backward, you'll deflate the tires, but only if you have removed this check valve. So I've tightened it down. So right now it's always locked, so there's no air inflated or deflated. But if you want to, you unscrew this cab. This is the old plastic that would hold it in place, so it doesn't fly around the cab. But then you would pull this backward to deflate or forward to inflate. So that's how it works from the cab, and that's beside the driver's seat. Now it's time to show you the new air tire connection thingy. I will first show you the old one and show you how it works, and then I'll show you the new one. As you guys have seen, the Tatra has the built-in air inflation and deflation system for the tires. But I've had a issue with it a couple of times now, where when you drive it or you spin the wheel, it will just disconnect and then all the air will rush out of your tire, making it flat. You have the tire on the right side here, and this is connected to the inner tube of the tire, and this is just a tube that will direct the air into the inner tube, and you can see it has threads, but those threads, they are never used because all this connector is pressure fittings with rubber seals. So if I take this one apart, I need to hold it. You can see that there's an inner sleeve that has a chamfer, and also on the other side, and there is a rubber ring in there, and that rubber ring usually sits around here, and the tube is just smooth, so there's nothing to hold it in place. It can just glide over it everywhere, and then this one sits right here and compresses it towards this chamfer. And the same thing is on the inside right here. So if I take this off, you can see that this one actually has a notch in it, and that notch holds this rubber ring. So that one is actually more made for this compression fitting. And then this one goes around this, and it gets all tightened again against this bushing. So then you have that side. Then the other side as well is just a rubber ring compression, no notch, nothing. And you have a hollow bolt that goes to the air supply, and that passes it through the air towards this valve. So you can switch it off, or you can open it up, and then the air will flow. And if you have it turned off, you can regulate which tire is inflated by turning all of the other tires off and only the one that you want to inflate or deflate on. So yeah, and in the cap you can choose if you want to pump air in or if you want to release air. But yeah, as said before, this one does not have a notch as well. And if we open this up, it's the same thing there. There's a rubber ring in here and a bushing that will squish the rubber seal. So yeah, besides this part is quite expensive. So yeah, I went to my local shop, and they like to puzzle with me. So we came up with an alternative solution. So we know that this bolt goes to the air intake. So we know that this thread is in the axle. So based on that, and we know that we have this one right here, it has an old thread, so it's not a standard thread size, sadly. So what I did with this one is that I bought it's called a thread die. So then you can actually add the thread to this, because it's just like a millimeter off. So then I can make the threads 1 millimeter smaller, make new threads, and because the metal is very soft, that works very good. So I will just remove all this, and we keep this one because that's the tire, and then we will go from there. So from there we get a transitional piece that is female to female, and then we get a hose connector that will go right here. I'll just move it a bit. So, and then from that side we get another hose connector, because we want it to be a bit more flexible. And then there will be a valve that's good for 30 bar of pressure, so that should be enough. Then we get a rubber ring that can go on this side, and we have a adapter from the thread of the axle to the thread of the valve. So we'll go here. I'll just move it in a bit so everything fits in there. And then in between, this hose is quite long right now. We just have a regular air hose with some hose clamps that will clamp on, and that is like this. These ridges will make it much more secure than just a rubber ring that's compressed on a smooth tube, hopefully. So yeah, so that's what I will apply to all of the wheels. So I will make sure that all of them get the same set, and yeah, so I can show you how it looks. So I already did the new threads on this one. So I can screw this one on right now. So now it's a standard size thread. And now I use some thread sealer as well, so that it's not in the way. So yeah, so there you have that. And then this one will fit in there all the way, like so. So now we can connect the hose to it. Then on the other end, we have this one in here, like so. And then we have the rubber ring, and we add the ring onto here. And then this one will fit like so. And this knob is quite a bit larger than the old knob. So I checked when I screwed it in. It fits to just, like, there's enough space for it to actually screw in. And also to reach your hand around it to open or close it. You can also remove the handle with a screw if needed, but I will just keep it. So yeah, and then we have this, and then the hose will connect in between. So this is the tire that me and Peter have been working on that went flat. You can see that it's nice and painted here, but the air intake or air exhaust is right here underneath, and then it connects to this one right here. That's why I chose to use a hose, so that it's flexible, so you can bend it in the way that you need to. And then on top of that, there will be a cover plate of thick metal that protects it all. One issue that I saw is that I cannot get the tool for the die in between there. So this is the tool, but as you can see, the handles are way too long to fit in there. So I've been thinking about it, what I should do. Either I will cut these handles off, so I just have the nubs. That might work. Or I saw a different scenario in a different video of someone saying like what you can do. So this is the die that I was talking about. So what you can do is actually to screw this one on by hand for the first part, and then you use some pliers that you can grab it from the inside with, and you can turn it that way, and then you can release it and reset your pliers and twist it more. So that's what I'm going to try, because I think that's nicer to destroy a tool, and if it doesn't work, I can always destroy the tool. Let's try this out. So what I did with my example was that I first lubricated the piece, like so. Then I also lubricated the threads on here, like so. And then I can position it with my hand. No, I feel like I need to get a different tool for this. Sadly, this would just not work as I expected it to. It will do the job. It will get the right thread onto there, but I need to yeah, to get something that I can get more grip with and get it better aligned with. Okay, so I'm back and I got the new tool, which is this one right here. So I can put the die in right here, which is this one, screw it tight, and then I can go from this angle and tighten it with a ratchet. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so the die is now in. So now we can get started to put the threads on. So I will again just lube it up a bit. And these ones as well. Like that. Make sure it's in the right direction. Yes. Now we just double check that we're going straight. All right, and there we have it. The new threads are now on there. I'll just get the vacuum because there are some metal parts inside of here, and I don't want to get that inside of the tube, of course. But yeah, so now we have new threads, and I'll just double check if the part now threads on. So now this one should thread on right here. Yes, look at that. All right, perfect. Very nice. Okay, I'll get the vacuum it out, and remove any of the burrs, and then we can mount everything. So what I got right here is some thread sealant. So I will put it on the threads, and then I will thread everything onto each other. That will make sure that everything is airtight, and that there's no air escaping. All right, so I put the thread sealant onto here. Now I'll put it onto here. All right, so that's now nice and secure. And then what we'll do is install the rest. Here I have the air valve and the hose connection to it. So those go together like this. So I put on some thread sealant right here as well, screw it in. So I put some thread sealant on it, it's quite hard to see. And then we just screw it in. Like so. I just get the key for it so it's nice and secure. So that one is now secure. On the other side we have the rubber ring in between here, so we don't need to do any thread sealant there, but on this side we need to do. And that one threads into here. Right, and now we thread it in. I'll just get the key for that. I got a 19, but it doesn't fit. It's too thick. Let me see if I got my other 19, if that one is thin there. Yeah, so this one is a bit thinner. Yeah, you see? All right, so that's that. And this one is, and I can still open and close the valve. So yeah, and now we have this hose end and this hose end. And I'll just get the cover just to make sure that it will fit. So this is the cover, and as you can see, it's just touching the hose end right here. So yeah, I need to think, because usually this one is a bit more upward. It's more pointing towards here. Ba, 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 ba. I will think of a solution. It's not that important right now because we're not off-roading. But it would be nice because this wheel is still suspended because it doesn't have any air in it. So in order to change the motor oil, I need to drive the truck to get the engine warm. So I will put on the hose and then we can always change it later or bend this upward a bit more maybe. So yeah, so I will get my screwdriver and now I'll put this one on. Like so. And then we tighten this one. Right, that ain't going nowhere. And then we're just oh wait, I need to add my hose clamp first. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, so if this one is pointed upward more, then this will work perfectly. So I can always shorten the hose as well. So those are now tight, and we can open and close the valve. So now I can hook up my air compressor and actually fill the tires, which is great. I'll not do that in the video because it's very loud, but it's definitely something I'll do somewhere this week. All right, here I have the cover. So yeah, right now this hose is in the way as well, but yeah, I need to find a way of moving this one. Maybe it will move by itself when I fill up the tire, that it pops into place better. So yeah, we'll see what will happen there. But yeah, this is the new system. I'll be installing it on the other tires as well. I can show you on the other tire how the valve is located, because this one is I think it got bent when the tire got flat, so that's why it's bent this way. But actually it has to be more upright. So now I'm at the front tire, and as you can see, this one is actually located a bit differently. So if you put it on here, it should come to about here, and then the hose will can connect to here. So the connection will be a bit better. All right, thank you for watching. If you have any feedback, just leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.